was delivered by Amazon. The Deadpool Wolverine figures. Well, two of them. I didn't want the Logan with the head pull. Didn't care for it. So we're going to unbox these. Well, specifically, we're going to look at Wolverine first, and then we're going to look at Deadpool. So Deadpool will be a different video. This video is focused on Wolverine, so let's move Deadpool out the way. And let's focus on Hugh Jackman in a nice yellow and blue suit. You can see Marvel Studios Deadpool Wolverine. There's the figure. Wolverine right there. Marvel Legends choking hazard. Barcode in case you need it. The legal information. Bio of the character. Wolverine. Picture of the character and the other characters in the wave. And then a bunch of other stuff. That's different. So let's take a look at this figure out of the packaging. All right, here's the figure out of the package. Now, by no means, this figure is not perfect. It does have its flaws, and we'll get into that. But with that being said, I love this figure. I'm happy to have a Hugh Jackman in a comic book costume. I know people complain about the lines, but if you were to look at it, if this thing was just smooth, it would look ridiculous in real life. So let's get into the figure. Let's look at what I like and what I don't like, and then we'll look at the accessories, and then we'll wrap it all up in with some comparisons, just a few, and then we'll end the video. So let's get into this, shall we? So everybody already knows Marvel Legends with the 3D printing for the face sculpt has been getting significantly better every single time, and that includes their movie figures. Because this right here looks like Hugh Jackman. It looks like Hugh Jackman with a mask on. And then we'll look at the unmasked head sculpt soon. But that looks like Hugh Jackman. Just he has the mask on and everything. You can see his beard. I mean, it's not the most filled in, but it looks pretty good. It looks like Hugh Jackman with a mask. There's nothing left I can say. The way the neck and the layering is right here, that's how it was in the movie, so that is accurate. You see all the little silver details on the front. The shoulder pads connect to the arms. That's how it was in the movie, so that doesn't bother me. You can see the belt here is actually, I think, the belt is actually a separate piece, and it does move. So that is something, because mine was crooked, so that is something to make sure you fix if it bothers you. Now, these gauntlets are actually a separate piece. And I've seen people take off these arms, put on sleeveless arms, put the gauntlets on. I wouldn't do that. I'd break the figure. I can't kit bash. I'm going to say that right now. But other than that, the texturing and the detail on this figure, screen accurate. I think the gloves might be off. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But you can see all the lines, the boots. And then one little thing that is weird. The left boot dips down lower than the right one. I've seen other people talk about that. That's kind of weird. And then the legs do look a little wonky. So the knees do look like they're a little low. I don't know if it's just me or what. And they look a little disproportionate, but it might just be me. I don't know if anybody else has that same opinion. On the back of the figure, you did see that they didn't paint in the little silver divots right here, but not a big deal. You see all the lines, the paneling, the texturing. The texturing on this is actually very nice. You can see the claws. Those look good. They might be a little bent, so I would just kind of warp them back in place with some heat. On my left one, the middle one kind of, if you can kind of see, it's kind of like pushed up. I don't know how to fix that, if that's just how they are. I've tried like putting some heat and like pulling it down, but I don't want to break it or have the claws accidentally pop out. But screen accurate. I like it. I think some areas could be proportioned a little bit better. Like Hugh Jackman he was in good shape for this movie. So I feel like the legs probably could have been a little more proportionate, and the knees do look low. I don't know if that's just me, but it's really getting to me. And this is just kind of bothering me just a little bit. But other than that, I do like this figure. The cowl is the best part. But let's look at the accessories so you can kind of see what they look like on the figure. Well, mostly the unmasked head sculpt. The hands are just hands. There's nothing special about them. So here's the unmasked Hugh Jackman head sculpt, and this is like a perfect representation of Hugh Jackman at this age. You can see the hair, how he looked in the movie, his beard. Like, this is perfect. I do wish they gave us like an angry or screaming head sculpt instead of two kind of neutral head sculpts, but I mean, it's whatever. This head sculpt works perfectly fine. This head sculpt, this is perfect. That 3D face printing is just top notch now. I'm expecting this for like all the movie figures to look this good at this point. And then he comes with a fist and like a gripping hand. I don't know what he'd be gripping, but okay. Those are the accessories. And here's what the Hugh Jackman unmasked head sculpt looks like on the body. And that looks good. That looks really good. That's how you look majority of the movie, so no surprise that that actually looks good. There's no point of changing out the hands. You know what they look like. So I'm just gonna keep them with the clawed hands. But no, that head sculpt, I can't get over it. It's like perfect. Like, that's one of the best Hugh Jackman head sculpts I've ever seen. I mean, this is my only Wolverine Hugh Jackman figure, but I've seen other reviews. So let's look at the articulation. We'll just get through it because it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah, his head is on a dumbbell joint, and it can look up that far, which is not very good. It's better than the Venom Walmart exclusive, I will say that though. And he can kind of look down. And then of course, all the way around and some tilt. Arms can go all the way around. He can raise his arm about that far, which is okay. The shoulder pad doesn't get away because it's actually attached to the shoulder. Bicep swivel and double jointed pinless elbows. So he can claw himself in the face. And then of course, hinge at the wrist, and they can rotate. He can arch back that far and arch forward that far, which is actually pretty good. He does have a swivel at the waist, which you can go all the way around with. So you can kind of have him look like that, which is kind of odd. Ball jointed hips, so he can raise his leg out that far, go forward about 90 degrees, and go back about that far. Thigh cut, no calf swivel, and double jointed pinless knees. Mine are a little tight, so if yours are like that, please heat them up before you break the figure. And then pivot at the ankle and hinge. Ankles are also tight. Now let's look at some comparisons. I have a disclaimer. I do not have the Astonishing X-Men Wolverine. I only have the X-Men 97, so that'll be the only Wolverine comparison. Here he is with X-Men 97 Wolverine, X-Men 97 Cyclops, and X-Men 97 Jean Grey. And the recently released Jean Grey Dark Phoenix. I mean, not Dark Phoenix, Phoenix. And for some other movie figure comparisons, here he is with Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm really hoping that at some point in the Marvel movies that Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine meet. I'm hoping. Hope you watch this, Marvel. I want it to happen. And as always, here he is with Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. So I hope you enjoyed this look at the Deadpool Wolverine figure. Stay tuned for the Deadpool review, which is right after this one. I'm literally filming it right after this one. But until next time, folks, have an amazing day. Toy life, best life. Crimson out.